Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
Over the past 31 years, I've had the joy of traveling repeatedly to many corners of this vast subcontinent that is India. It is amazing to see how landscapes, culture, food, music, dances, and even languages change every few hundred kilometers that you drive. You see the highest mountains of the world, great seas, bountiful rivers, and best of all, a people whose thoughts and heritage go back a few thousand years. Join us on an enthralling journey. I am traveling again across the whole of India to bring you spectacular India. The Indian state of Tamil Nadu has a coastline of over 900 kilometers along the Bay of Bengal. The southern tip of India is located in Tamil Nadu. At this point is Kanyakumari, at the meeting place of the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal, and the Indian Ocean. Tamil Nadu has a long tradition of highly developed culture. It is known for its rich history of literature, music, dance, and traditions of textiles which continue to flourish.
This is a traditional saree of Madurai. It's called Sungadi. This is a printed one with woven pallu. This is made in nearby villages around Madurai.
The designs of the Sungadi saris were brought by people who migrated from Saurashtra. In Gujarat, they had used the tie and dye method, but here this technique was not known to the artisans. Therefore, they made blocks of the designs and started printing them. So these Sungadi saris are really the result of a meeting of many cultures. Indeed, South India is a place where so many cultures met. Different people brought their own artistic styles and their talents and made this into such a varied and rich culture. The close-by belts which grew cotton in Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra in the Deccan used to provide Tamil Nadu with the fiber, with the cotton. And here, at so many centers of exquisite making of textiles, vast quantities of most beautiful textiles were produced. In fact, they continue to be produced till today. India had very extensive trade contacts with the rest of Asia and with Europe since ancient times. There are numerous records of this interaction. In the 1st century, Pliny the Elder writes in Rome that Roman coffers are being emptied for buying far too many fine textiles from India. Merchants from Rome, Syria and Egypt used to travel often to South India. There is literary evidence that foreign merchants learnt Indian languages, just as some of the South Indians had a mastery of Aramaic, the ancient language of the Bible. Over the centuries, these contacts continued and grew. In the 1st century AD, St. Thomas brought Christianity to India for the first time, to Kerala. Though the structure of the Mar Thoma church today is a very recent one, it was at this spot that St. Thomas, Apostle of Jesus Christ, built the first church in India at Kodungalur. After working in Kerala, the Apostle went to Tamil Nadu. He established Christianity in present-day Chennai. The St. Thom Cathedral Basilica derives its name from St. Thomas, who died on St. Thomas Mount in Chennai in 72 AD. He was buried in the nearby beach. The shrine of St. Thomas is built over his tomb. The crypt is said to still contain some of the remains of the saint. A church was built here in 1606 by the Portuguese. It was rebuilt with the status of a cathedral by the British in 1893. It was designed in neo-Gothic style, favoured by British architects in the late 19th century. In 1956, Pope Pius XII raised the church to the status of a minor basilica. In 2006, it was declared a national shrine by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India. The basilica has many beautiful stained glass windows that portray the story of St. Thomas. King Alfred of England sent a bishop to the tomb of St. Thomas in the year 883 with his offerings. This was to fulfill a vow he had made when he was attacked by the Danish army. Visits to the tomb were recorded by travellers from Arabia in the 9th century and by Marco Polo in 1292. In every century, a host of distinguished visitors have recorded that they have visited and prayed at the tomb. In 1545, the Portuguese Francis Xavier was at present-day Chennai for 4 months. He spent long hours in nightly prayers at the tomb. Every year, pilgrims from different places gather here to experience the festivals of the cathedral.
அனுப்பப்படுகின்றவர் ஆகவே எல்லாவற்றுக்கும் மேலாக
St. Thomas spent the last years of his life in a cave on this hill. Tradition states that he was assassinated with an arrow here in AD 72. A small church built in 1523 by the Portuguese stands at the summit of the hill. Over the centuries, with the coming of European colonizers, Christianity spread across Tamil Nadu. The colonial age brought a large number of Portuguese, Dutch, British and Italian Christians. Priests accompanied them, not only to fulfill their spiritual needs, but also to spread the Christian faith. The Church of Our Lady of Good Health, popularly called Our Lady of Velankani, is in the small town by that name on the shores of the Bay of Bengal. It is just over 200 kilometers south of Chennai and about 8 kilometers from Nagapattinam. Velankani was once an important port. Historical notes reveal that this area traded with Rome and Greece in ancient times. The town is famous for its shrine dedicated to Our Lady of Good Health. The Pope has declared Velankani to be a holy city. In the 17th century, a Portuguese merchant vessel sailing from Macau in China to Colombo was caught in a tempest in the Bay of Bengal. The sailors, then at the point of desolation, vowed to build a chapel in the name of the Virgin Mary wherever they could reach safety. The legend has it that the stormy sea became quiet and their ship reached the shore at Velankani on 8th September, the birthday of Mother Mary. Fulfilling their vow, the Portuguese sailors made a chapel at Velankani. In 1962, the church was granted the special status of a minor basilica by Pope John XIII. Only the most revered churches are given such an honor. The Velankani church is dedicated to Mother Mary. She is the presiding deity of the church and is believed to have miraculous healing powers. Thousands of people flock to the church. They pray for their near and dear ones to be cured of ailments to lead a happy and normal life. The church is also known as the Arogya Mata Church. All one has to do is to light a candle in front of Mother Mary, who shows the light from then onwards. Tiruchirapalli is on the banks of the river Kaveri. It is the fourth largest city in Tamil Nadu. Christianity came here at the time of British rule, and the churches here date back to the early 1760s. Lourdes Church is located in the St. Joseph College campus. We see here the Gothic architectural style favoured by the British then. The impressive 200 feet tall spire of the church is visible from a radius of 8 kilometers. Throughout the year, people flock to this church. The congregation on Sundays at the Lourdes Church is attended by thousands of devotees. It is wonderful to see the devotion of the people. St. John's Church was constructed in the year 1821. It is located in the heart of the city of Tiruchirapalli. The church has exquisite stained glass depicting Jesus Christ on the cross. Angels are gathered at his feet. The Basilica of the Holy Redeemer was completed in 1881. It was then the largest church in the Asian continent. Our Lady of Lourdes Basilica in Pundi is a Catholic pilgrimage center about 35 kilometers from Tanjavur. It is also known as the Pundi Madha Shrine. In the beginning of the 18th century, an Italian Jesuit missionary built a church here and named it the Church of Mary, Queen of Immaculate Conception. Over the years, the church became known for miraculous cures which took place here. The number of pilgrims to the shrine kept increasing, and people gave Mother Mary here the name Pundi Madha. Madha means mother in Tamil. The present structure of the shrine represents a blend of Gothic and French architecture. It has a simple and dignified interior. A meeting of cultures is seen in the Rath of Jesus, made in the style of a temple car outside the church. Our Lady of Snows Shrine Basilica is located at Thoothukudi. It is another Catholic pilgrimage center dedicated to Mother Mary. In 1982, when the church celebrated its 400th anniversary, Pope John Paul II raised it to the status of a basilica. The Adaikal Madha Church in Tanjavur district has a unique architecture which blends European styles with Indian influences.
I like this place basically because this reflects the Tamil culture more, the Indian culture more. If we look at the face of Our Lady, at the outside we could understand this is more incarnated, inculturated and indigenized. Our Lady is typically a Tamil girl. You could see her eyes black, see her hairs black, and looking at us all the time, so beautiful. I love this because she is of our own.
Idaikattur village is located 37 kilometers east of the temple city of Madurai. It has a beautiful church dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. This was built in the year 1894 by a French missionary. It is a replica of the Rheims Cathedral in France. The church is said to be built by angels, and there are many depictions of angels made in and around the church. Everywhere, the figures made in the church show the Indian fondness for beautiful colors. The main altar of the church is very impressive. It is 45 feet high, with stucco figures of God the Father holding his only son Jesus by his hands. St. Mary's Cathedral in Madurai was founded in 1840. The present building was constructed in 1916. A notable feature of the church is two tall bell towers which stand against the skyline to invite the faithful to prayer. Mother Mary is the most popular Christian saint in Tamil Nadu. Reverence of the Mother comes most naturally to Indians, and their hearts overflow with warmth and devotion towards the saint. Since ancient times, besides the contacts with the Christian world, India had considerable trade with Arabs. With the advent of Islam, Arab traders became the carriers of the new faith. Within the lifetime of the Prophet and soon after, several mosques were made on the west and east coasts of India. Kayalpatnam is an ancient town on the Tamirapirani River. It is about 1 kilometer from its mouth. The Kodalkarai Mosque was built here by Arab traders as early as Hijri 12 or 633 AD. It is the first mosque to be built in Tamil Nadu. Several other mosques were made at Kayalpatnam soon thereafter. Tiruchirapalli or Big Jamia Mosque was built by Muhammad Khalji and others in 843 AD. A batch of Muslim settlers from Arabia came in 1284 under the leadership of Sultan Jamaluddin, who was a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. The Sultan's descendants are still living in Kayalpatnam. Sultan Jamaluddin and his son rebuilt the big Jamia mosque and completed it in 1329. Famous travelers and historians like Abdullah Wasaf, Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo have written about Kayalpatnam in their memoirs. The Goripalayam Mosque is in the heart of Madurai city. The name Goripalayam comes from the Persian word Gor, which means grave. It is called the Goripalayam Mosque because it houses the graves of two famous sultans of the 13th century, who were also saints, popularly known as Delhi Sultans. The two sultans, Alauddin Badshah and Shamsuddin Badshah, were two brothers who ruled in the northern part of Madurai. They had come from Oman during the 13th century to spread Islam. The wonderful thing about it is the dome, which is 70 feet in diameter and 20 feet in height. It is made out of one single solid stone. In the cosmopolitan culture of this country, it was made by the Hindu king Tirumalai Nayak for his Muslim subjects. Nagore is a small town along the shores of the Bay of Bengal, 4 kilometers north of Nagapattinam. It is an ancient town and was mentioned in early writings as a center of Islam in Tamil Nadu. Here stands one of the grandest dargahs in all of India. This is the revered tomb of Miran Sahib Abdul Qadir Shahul Hamid Badshah. It is one of the most popular pilgrimage centers for Muslims in Tamil Nadu. Devotion to the saint cuts across religious barriers, and the dargah draws worshippers from all faiths. The beautiful dargah has several domed structures and lovely minarets. In front of the western gate, just outside the compound, is an impressive tower 131 feet tall. It is called Periya Minar. Nagore Dargah literature tells that the Tanjavur king Pratap Singh built Periya Minar around 1760 AD, about 200 years after the death of Miran Sahib. Inside the compound, a silver-domed building houses 3 tombs. The doors of these chambers are made of silver. Inside lie the mortal remains of Miran Sahib, his son Sayyid Muhammad Yusuf, and his daughter-in-law Sayyida Sultana Bivi. The Nagore Shrine displays a meeting of cultures, both in its architecture and its rituals. Lamps are lit here, just like in Tamil temples. The south of India has historically been one of the most cosmopolitan lands of the world. With India's openness and tradition of the accepting of other cultures, both Christianity and Islam were welcomed here with open arms. We have in South India ancient traditions of both religions which flourish till today.